For this journey we only had 2 days, so the motorbike was out of the question. We were travelling from Nouvelle-Aquitaine over to Champagne, almost 500 miles, mainly motorway driving. We stayed in the small town of Abbey, which is in the heart of the Côte de Blanc. This is the part of Champagne where they specialise in growing the Chardonnay grape. On every corner there are champagne houses, and at the top of the main street are the vines. One of the most essential elements for me before embarking on the wine trip is to do a bit of research, and the really useful research comes from the Hachette Guide, which is like the Bible of French wine. The information that you get is really useful. They tell you what the sort of producer you're going to, so what do they specialise in, how many bottles do they produce, the prices. Also gives you a description of a featured wine and also stars that wine out of 3. They also give you the contact details for the producer, and they tell you whether or not you have to make an appointment, and if you don't have to make an appointment, when a vineyard is open ready for your visit. So it's a great way of identifying good producers and knowing whether they're going to be available when you turn up, or whether you have to make that phone call first before you go. So we're in Champagne, and it's the start of one day of just going around looking at champagne, tasting champagne. So see how it goes. I don't know what's open and what isn't open, but let's give it a try and see what happens. Haute-Villiers is just a few miles outside of Épinay, and it's often referred to as the birthplace of champagne. From this viewpoint you can see the whole of the Champagne region, and every bit of space around the village is dedicated to the growing of champagne grapes. The first champagne house that we visited was the unassuming Bochet-Limoine, which is just a few miles up the road from Haute-Villiers. How did you rate that champagne, Joanne?
Very good.
What was your favourite?
Probably the brew for me.
Right. Why was that?
It was just softer, but then the nature was very good, and also the Grand Prix.
At the heart of Haute-Villiers is the Abbey, and this is the final resting place for Dom Pérignon, a monk who had a vital role in the development of Champagne. The tomb of Dom Pérignon is situated just in front of the altar, and behind the Abbey is the exclusive champagne house that bears his name. We had a quick stop for lunch and some people watching in Epinay before we went on to our second tasting of the day at Evelyn Pratt. It's just, what do you call it? Brook tradition. Then this is a 100% Chardonnay. Oui. The best.
On rentre avec le commenceur et s'il y a quelqu'un qui veut essayer, il peut. Alors c'est très facile. It's very easy to enter. So you just have to go through the door like if you go in the swimming. Donc vous rentrez comme si vous aviez.
Oh ouais. Amazing.
So, this is the star of the show, champagne-wise, Joe, is it?
It is. It's delicious. It's Bauchet-les-Moines.
Cuvée Sélectionnée. So it's a slightly different one. This one is not got any sugar at all. It's just the wine. So normally in champagne you get a little bit of sugar just to give it a slight amount of sweetness. This has got no sugar at all. It's 50% Pinot Meunier, 30% Pinot Noir and 20% Chardonnay, which is a really standard mixture for champagne. But from our travels, this was the one that really stood out. So let's open this one. Are you excited, Joanne?
I am, yeah. You good to try it?
Are you going to down it in one?
I'm going to savour it. Sip and savour is what we do. Oops.
Strange, taking all that off.
I didn't mean to. It just came off.
Oof.
Best sound in the world.
There's the pop.
I'd like to pour it like a proper champagne person would pour, but I can't do it.
There's loads of bubbles and fizz on that one.
It's a good colour.
It's a pale straw colour, which is champagne coloured.
Right, there we go.
So let's have a taste.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That was very good. I like that, it's very sharp.
Yeah, because there's no sugar.
Just really nice.
It's just full of citrus. Yeah, so it's really, really citrusy, really sharp, really nice bubbles.
Delicious.
Delicious. So this was the star of the show from when we went to Champagne.
Cheers.